Up YouTube, Pastor Bob here. Well, I'm building a set of speakers, and I know that somebody's going to ask me how I hook up what I'm going to hook up. So let me explain it a little bit to you without getting a little too crazy. So I'm running a Planar tweeter, okay? Planar tweeters are a little bit different than your average round tweeter, right? Or horn tweeter or whatever. These are actually a 6 ohm tweeter. Now I'm going to be running an 8 ohm mid sub, I guess if you want to call it that, driver. Okay. I don't know. Let me show you. See him over there? Okay. So what I did was I put in another failsafe, even though I'm running this. Show you in the box so you can see it. This is 6,000 hertz, 12 dB crossover, low pass crossover, right? Well, they can fail. So what I did was, if you look in line here, I made myself a safety. I used a 10R and a 22R resistor with a 4.7 unifarad capacitor at 50 volts going into the positive. And how it's hooked up is, if you look, you have polar and non-polar caps. Non-polar caps means they're omnidirectional. You can hook them up either way. Polarized caps, right? You'll see that they got a little white mark and then a black mark, all right? So the white mark is negative, and then the other part would be positive, right? So that's how I hook them up. Now what this does is this protects this tweeter from any low frequencies going into this tweeter and blowing it. Now, planar tweeters are a lot different than other tweeters. They can handle it, but still, all in all, you need to put in a protection circuit. You don't have to. You can do whatever you want to do, and I say explore your horizons. They're not that expensive, but if you don't feel like yanking them out and doing them again, you should put a little safety in your system. And this is just what I do. I mean, I'm no professional at it. At building the box, well, I've been calculating that box for a long time. So the box will be cool. But when it comes to tweeters and whoopers and subwoofers, it can get a little complicated. And I don't think that I'm that good with them to give anybody a class. I'm not a professional. There's plenty of other people out there. And when you're dealing with electronics, if you don't know what you're doing, you should stay away from them, because you could get electrocuted. Yeah, maybe not so much in this circuit, but if you start here and then you go, wandering on to bigger and better things, you could hurt yourself. So, go get a class, learn about it before you enter into the twilight zone like me. But anyway, that's the circuit. I'll bring you up closer so you can see it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to solder these. So I'll solder these, all these where they connect. And then what I'm going to do is run a piece of shrink wrap over the top of each one of them. And that way, if they flop around or anything, I don't have to worry about it. And then this end here is the positive lead coming from your speaker. So what will happen is you have an in and an out. So you have positive and negative. Okay, this is meant for um, this is a crossover that's meant for a two-way system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in, and I'll hook one set up to the drivers, and then I'll come off of them to these for the low pass, because most of my low end frequency will be coming from the subwoofer. And I'm building these boxes, and I've calculated this, and whether my calculations are correct or not, I don't know. But the only way you're going to know is to try. And I've played around with them quite a bit over the years, so it should work for what I want. So, and if not, the way that I'm making my box, it should be pretty easy for me to go in and change it around and do something a little different. So, anyways, before you ask, somebody asked what I'm doing, I wanted to show you guys, so that way you got a good idea of what I'm up to. Now, if you want some really good audiophile speakers, and you take the time, maybe later on I'll show you the inside of my box, but you can build beautiful speakers, beautiful sounding speakers, if you take the time for, probably a nice $100 to $125 plus your time. But we're talking high quality speakers, high quality sound. So, in my world, that's really what it matters. Now, some people would say, "Oh, well, they're dating, they're dating audio." Well, let me tell you something. Just because things are a little less expensive doesn't mean that they don't sound as good as somebody trying to buff you up to say, "Oh, these are the best. You must buy these because they are the best." That's not always the case. Sometimes there's a lot of fluff. It's like a guitar. You can buy a guitar. You can buy a Epiphone or you can buy a Gibson. To a certain point, there's, you got to think about it. You change the pickups out, okay, but you still got the body, still got the neck, still got the frets and machine heads and the bridge system. Okay, but you could take pedals and things like that and modify them. Well, the same thing can happen with speakers. And a lot of people don't realize that. So if you took the time and you really wanted to build yourself something good, you could do it on a dime. What I mean by the dime means you could do it at a lot less cost. And that's what I'm doing. Most of it goes into the box, right? The engineering of the box. And I've been working on this, for, I don't know, probably 15 years now. I've been working on different boxes and stuff. And this one here, I had some extra lumber. I said, I'm going to try something new. So I got a set of beautiful drivers over there. Those are nice drivers. And I metered them. I put them on a spectroscope. So they're good. I metered them. They're ready to rock and roll. They're brand new. And I actually bought 4 of them, but I'm only going to do 1 in each box. And the reason why is I was going to run 2 in the box, and I decided, well, you know what? Maybe I'll just run 1 and then run a subwoofer instead of trying to get all the low ends out of them. And I'll just use these as my top, so I'll get my mids and my highs out of it. So that's my idea. I guess we'll find out soon if I know what I'm doing, or if I guessed well enough. So, anyways, guys, that's what I'm up to. Craziness. I couldn't sleep, so I got up and started playing with this. Hope you all liked it. Like, share, subscribe. Pastor Bob's out of here. We'll see you.